Cool.
Hey.
Yay. Hi there. Hello, everyone. It's Nick Jancev from Holistic Health Anxiety Coaching. How's everyone doing today? Hey, welcome to another podcast, newbies and everyone. And thank you for following our channel, our group, and we're so everywhere at the moment. Yeah, so welcome aboard. I've got a wonderful special coaching. Today is a coaching session on our podcast, and I've got lovely Cassandra with us. And yeah, Cassandra, please introduce yourselves.
Oh, hi. I'm Cassandra. I am here to chat with Nick today about anxiety and be coached. I'm excited.
Yay.
Um, I'm, I'm a clinical myotherapist. I work with muscles and fascia, and I'm a fellow journeyer and doing the work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Hey, welcome, and
Yeah.
thank you for joining me on a coaching session together here. So cool. Yeah. So what we're going to do today is that's us. I'm a holistic health anxiety coach and certified coach, and here we are. Like just getting the news out, look, I know that someone's out there listening, and I know that they need to hear this, and see kind of how if it applies to them, maybe they would like to be coached. And I always
Mm,
leave, I always leave my links, my calendar. Yeah, come and join, and I do have a complimentary coaching session for you. So if you feel inclined out there, and whoever's listening today, feel inclined, and it's time for you to learn more about anxiety, and every issue, every problem shared is a problem halved. So here we are. Most welcome to join me, and it'll be nice to know you. Yeah. So today, well, we always start. Well, I like to start my coaching session with our introduction, then a topic. Today's topic is going to be mental distortion, aberration, and how does it influence our anxiety levels? How does that increase or decrease, and what things can we learn, and how can we, could that be a coping mechanism? Maybe we'll discuss some coping mechanisms. Yeah. Yes. So also the coaching session. Now I'd like to talk briefly about the coaching session, and the coaching session to this. Yeah. So I'll be coaching
mm-hmm.
Sandra on how to handle life's challenges more fluently, overcoming excessive reaction, slowing down the nervous systems, and letting go of the any blaming, adapting a positive change, and understanding the redundant thinking loop for conditioning, or like a better conditioning, cognitive conditioning. Yeah, we can go into the mind work a little bit there. This is
Mm-hmm.
um, this is an eight two parts, and it's made of 8 week sessions. So we'll basically just today, I think we'll just cover the first part. Yeah, a little bit later. Um,
Sure.
object, objective is to the objective is to help Cassandra develop skills to effectively handle life challenges and reduce overreactions, overthinking, all that
Mm-hmm.
sort of stuff. And slowing. Then the first week we look at the first week we kind of talking into like giving light to, and piecing through the subconscious wall, slowing down the nervous system. And how do we do that? Will be introduction to the awareness of what were some signs of symptoms to indicate your nervous system is overworked, overactive, and how does, or has it anyone ever, how does your overactive nervous system actually affect your life? And one more, what are some situations or triggers that tend to activate, which are regularly coming up
Mm.
consistently, that activates your nervous systems? And yeah, maybe we can even chuck in there the vagus nerve, which is really important to know, especially when we're going through anxiety. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's session one today. And then we'll go into yeah, and then Cash, you got a chance, an opportunity. I want to make space for you, and
Mm-hmm.
you will tell me what's going on today. How you feeling? Maybe you like to share something, and be more vulnerable. And sometimes, yeah, a problem shared is a problem halved. So we're all gonna make space for you, everyone that's listening here. So, and that'll be kind of
Thank you.
cool. Yeah, you're welcome. Cool, cool. And of course, then we'll go into a meditation, bit of breathing. I'll be reading a script, and you can just enjoy, and all our listeners can enjoy, and we'll chill out, do a bit of breathing, and then we'll call it a night. Cool. So let's go with that. Let's go talk about the mental distortion, anxiety, aberration, natural phenomena, and it's a natural to part of our learning, and it's like going through the eyes of a needle. So what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean to you, like mental distortions?
Um, it means a million and one things. Where do I even start? So, I guess in terms of mental distortions, I've got a lot of trauma in my background. Um, and basically, for me, I find that a mental distortion is when I'm in an environment, I have a stimulus, I'm triggered,
Mm-hmm.
and I respond from a place of trauma in a trauma response, and I engage in a loop when there isn't actually any perceived threat to my existence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or, for example, another distortion that happens a lot, specifically because we're talking about anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
is, for example, I was in New York um, having a holiday and I just had 3 days. I'm also autistic level 2 and ADHD, so I struggle a lot with cognitive overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 3 days of non-stop Brooklyn Bridge, Empire State Building, every single summit platform,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the whole city, overload of stimulus for all the best possible reasons, right? Expanding my horizons, but it still triggered the same internal shutdown and meltdown and overreaction response of, panic attacks and anxiety. Um, because as it came into my system, it still came in as overstimulus and my body reacted in the fight or flight response that was threat, right? So it was really, really good and really exciting, but it's the way that it came through because of the filters that I have in terms of the experiences within my life that have, um, shaped the conditioning and the limitations as a human that I'm now effectively working constantly to undo every single day. Um, it still made it into an experience that was incredibly stressful and elicited a negative response out of me when the stimulus was coming from something positive. So, a case in point of two very different environments,
Yeah.
and there's still that level of distortion that comes out of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What did I get out of that? First thing I picked up from you was that you were fitting too much in. You went jumping from one tower to the other, right?
Yeah,
You're just trying to maximize your time there. And
yeah,
I'm gathering like this, and I'm gathering you are like not sleeping that well, maybe because
mm,
you're overexcited and all there, right? So
mm,
not giving yourself that time rest and digest time.
yeah,
I know that I get it that way too. When I'm on a run, today I felt like distorted because I was just like trying to get to this client and that client. I've got to do this and I've got to do that. So I was pretty busy.
yeah,
And at the same time, I was trying to think about creating more podcasts and so on. I felt a little bit distorted, and yeah,
yeah,
I felt the stress coming on. But then I said, no, I better breathe this out and slow down. Um,
yeah.
so that's what I gathered. Yeah, distortion. Yeah, we get it easily. I think my story on this, why did I pick this particular theme in coaching or teaching, is that one of my
Mm,
students hired me to deal with his anxiety, and he did a driving test, and
mm-hmm.
I even drove a few hours with him. And he failed the test, by the way, because anxiety got to him. He got
Oh,
really anxious, yeah. And and he put
yeah.
so much pressure on himself. And he told me that if this job related to getting this particular act of getting a license. You know, he left it for such a long time because he's got anxiety. So I helped him get over the anxieties. We talked about the unconscious and this particular. And I was as I was sitting with him, you know, giving him a bit of counseling, I just noticed what he was doing. Like it was overwhelming, over distorting the idea, feeling not good enough. Yeah, he was self sabotaging himself. He had to have control of the whole thing. You know, if you try to help him with something, he'd kind of just take it as a victim, right? And he'd go, I did it, I did it, you know, I did this. Like it was full on, like really, really being defensive, and he couldn't calm down. And more, and we said, come on, let's just gently take the time, do a parking. And every time he got it wrong, he just went totally aberration. Aberration means that when we're thinking, we go from A to B. You know, this chap was going from A to Z.
Catastrophizing.
And he was like
My
lost
favorite thing.
he was lost in space, right? I said, look,
Yeah.
calm down. I'm going to do a meditation. I'm going to teach you how to meditatively, you know, in your mind, how to park the car step by step. Eventually, with a bit of work, we managed to, you know, we managed to get the parking okay. Then I said to because you have to be taught like one step at a time because you're not comprehending, you're kind of crashing, you're not getting the steps right. But even did meditation, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, and then I said, well, now we're going to minimize one move because you're only allowed to park the car within 7 meters according to authorities. And he goes, because I'm getting tested. Why didn't someone tell me that before? He went like bananas, you know, on that. I said, come down. It's actually better for you. So we just went slamming the procedures again, and you know, just to help him stay calm, stay calm. So he didn't get his test and he cried, and unfortunately he got very upset. He put so much hope and so much work and so much thinking and dedicated himself. But what got him was the stress, over exaggerating, distorting the whole thing. Eventually he nailed it. He got like 97%, which is pretty high, except he did something that he shouldn't have done. He went over the line, but they're pretty strict online. You know, new license and so on. And that's what he said. So which was really, really cool. All right. So the topic was for really, you know, I'm thinking about, wow, you know, I can see this in him. I can see him getting frustrated and he's always on defensive. And that's what I think mental distortion does for us. You know, yeah.
It takes advantage of the fact that we actually care about something.
Yeah. You know what? We take it too personal, right? We take the whole thing too personal. And once we do that, it actually takes us another level. And I believe that I believe that for every level there's a devil.
Yeah.
Every level there's a devil.
You got new bosses to beat.
Oh yeah. He's challenging his devil's like, so no, you're gonna pass this, you know. You have to learn to listen, you have to learn to relax, and otherwise you're gonna be kind of spinning out on the road. There's a lot of people who can't handle driving. It's like they're very anxious. They get, you know, they just go like that and they just take their hands off the wheel. I said, dude, don't do that, you know. And he got, don't do that. Don't take your hands off. And I'm watching him and he always runs in front of a bus. I said, don't ever do that. Luckily, I'm here to counsel you to, you know, watch how you drive and how to stay calm on the road. So but this is like a mental distortion and anxiety and and it's trying to you know, I said, have you thought about meditation? Have you thought about calming down the mind? I thought, okay, the thing is, all right, distortions or deletes or making things general are over catastrophizing. Actually, normal, but we can kind of push them to serious space, you know?
Yeah.
Beyond space. And
I couldn't find Beyond Space in your Apple Music library. You can ask for your music on a different app.
Delete, Siri. We'll come back to you another time. Thank you.
Thanks, Siri.
Bye, Siri.
Yeah.
She's trying to give me music a little bit later. Yeah, I must have said her name. She came up. Technology. Yeah, so if we can, I'm thinking if we can just be like knowing that it's a phenomena and happens to us, it's a thing, and we don't need to, and don't have to stimulate that. We can just chill out. We know that's happening. I think it's part of our learning. My theory.
Yeah.
Have you ever done NLP or you aware of NLP, neuro linguistic programming?
I haven't studied it myself per se, but I have had various NLP practitioners over the years. I've got quite an extensive list of emotional processes that I like to go through in terms of tools to kind of I suppose self-locate, um, and figure out where I am, what I'm feeling, where I'm feeling it, give it a name, talk to it. Lots of different processes on how to do that. Lately, I was talking about this yesterday. My journey's kind of more gone into like the physical embodiment of the emotions and the sensations, and really training myself to pull myself back out of disassociation back into my body, which is it's another kettle of fish altogether. It's completely different. Like the mind is one thing, and I've had a lot of experience with that, and I'm like I can poke holes inside and out, and then when it comes to like you've got your thoughts, and then you've got your feelings and your emotions, and then you've got like your physical sensations in your body. And what I'm now finding specifically in my trauma recovery is finding ways to physically break the trauma loops it's almost like my body has, it's like it's so programmed to respond to a particular stimulus in a particular way.
Wow.
That I can't even catch it before it's happening. So it's just like a triggering, and it's like a subconscious, almost like a trauma reflex.
Yeah.
And it's at the point where I have almost emotional detachment from it, but it still doesn't change the fact that it actually unfolds and it happens.
Yep.
So it's like, um, and the Body Keeps a Score is a fantastic book. And it's obviously something that being a clinical myotherapist, I have a lot of patients that talk to me, and they open up a lot about their life. And I absolutely love being able to support them and hear about their journeys and everything like that. And also to support them and kind of coach them through the process of also coming back into their body during a session and being like, holy shit, what has happened to my body for like the last 5 years? I just had something happen and I've disassociated for a while. And now I'm back in here and I have all this pain and these aches. And where did this come from? And it's like, well, it's been there the whole time. You just haven't been aware of it. So it's that journey of now I can see, and also I said this yesterday as well, like every response that I have, I now see it as it's like it's a portal to a different timeline. It's a portal to a different time space reality where I have a particular outcome I want or a particular goal. For me, it's I want to be calm in this situation so I can make the best possible choice. And I don't know what the hell the best possible choice is because I haven't processed all the, physical sensation coming into my body. I haven't processed the emotional input. I haven't spoken to it. I haven't integrated it. I haven't got the wisdom from it. And then it's like, once I've done that, there's like anywhere from 4 to 12 different responses sometimes of, okay. And it's like, all right, so this is the cyclic trauma response. This is the mature response. This is the self-aware response. This is the response that's actually going to get me the outcome that I want to get to. So it's a very extensive process. It's very arduous and it's very long, But I'm hoping over time, with more practice, it'll obviously speed up and become instantaneous.
Hey, when we talk about compassion, because that's one of the best tools to do is be kind, gentle, really gentle.
Yeah.
So, and the key word, how do you go befriending it? Don't fight it, but befriend it.
Yeah.
Because this particular mental distortion, if we can say it's a natural phenomenon and we don't take it too personal, we don't get scared of it and fear it, but actually say, okay, yeah, it's my friend. I don't need to fight it, you know.
Mm.
But I mean, given it consent,
Yeah.
I think the key word is sit back and would it be different if we just give it consent to be okay with it
Yeah.
rather than fighting it?
Yeah.
Befriended, give it
Yeah.
consent. And I think most of the time we just say surrender to it, give it consent. That's a key word for me tonight. Give it consent.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're thinking.
Mm.
It is a natural phenomena. It is, but again,
Mm.
don't take that stuff personal. You can even read that
Yeah.
in the book called the what's that? The Four Agreements. That's beautiful.
Oh, yes, that book.
Oh yeah, that's about just don't rule number four, whatever rule that I can't remember what it is. One of the four.
Yeah.
Don't take stuff personal, and
Mm.
just be careful what kind of words we use. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that the stimulus thing that you mentioned earlier, like is that something you have you worked out what your triggers are on that? Like, have you set back? How many do you have? Have you unleashed some of them? Have you what are the common ones? What's the one that keeps coming looping back all the time? Whether you got you happy, 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 and all of a sudden, boom, wow, I've just
Mm.
been disappointed.
Um, that's a really good question.
Yeah,
Uh, Particular words will trigger me.
okay.
So things like game. I actually had a major triggering with a very, very good long-standing friend of mine who was
Did you say game or games?
unbelievably supportive.
Games,
Game,
game. Like I'm game to do
just
something.
game.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Another
but
one. Yeah.
that was predisposed to, I was already triggered to a particular incident which it wasn't an incident, it wasn't a big thing, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was just a miscommunication.
Mhm.
And I just obviously read the room with my filters on, which was
You just went on
not
it.
accurate, but distorted. Um, and then I was expressing it
Yeah.
to him and having two minds about, my soul was happy about being able to express itself, and then my egoic self was struggling with this other challenging aspect that was, um, struggling with trust issues essentially. So it was like I can hold both are very valid viewpoints, and I can see where they come from, and I'm not going to reject the trauma side of me because
Mhm.
that fear and that mistrust is not misplaced.
Mhm.
When you're dealing with people that you're not familiar with, they should have to earn your trust. So it's a case of being able to sit with both of them, but the original thing that it actually triggered back to in terms of the wound, because we have the initial wound or the subconscious pain, and then we have the protective parts that come up that are
Mhm.
hiding it. The core wounding was just really, really messed up. Maybe one day I'll share what that is.
Yeah.
But something that shouldn't happen to children. And
Mhm. Okay.
the conversation went in a very different way than was what was expected. And the other person, he didn't pick up on it and said the word game, and it cascaded into a trigger response, which was turning into a tornado of katanas out of nowhere, like attack, attack.
Mhm.
Um, but really, what happened at the end of it afterwards, I apologized, I took responsibility, we worked it out, we repaired the connection, um, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. Repair, ruptures are inevitable. Nobody's perfect, and we've all got problems, and we have to work through it.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, you either love the person enough to work through it or you don't. And that's just how life goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were able to work through it, and yeah.
Okay. Right. So
It was that good.
Yeah.
Other things are lately it's been questions. So I'm doing a personal development course at the moment, which is extremely confronting to say the least. And it is primarily self-guided. So it is like self-exploration, but it's asking me about love and romance. So what I didn't realize is that I was like, yeah, this is so exciting. I'm gonna, watch a bunch of romantic films, but I actually started asking myself the questions of how do I define romance? How do I define love? And, you know, if, what would my ideal relationship and partnership look like? And then that triggered all of my early childhood trauma and relational trauma. And all of a sudden I'm feeling depressed and suicidal, and like, what just happened? Like, where did all the fun go? You know? And then I was in my psychologist's office today, actually, and I just said to her, I'm doing this course, my life is great, my job's great, my work's good, I've got friends, I'm socializing, but I've just fell off a cliff. And she said, yeah, because the course that you're doing has just asked you a bunch of questions that have literally just triggered because you've gone and you've sat down, and it's like, reflect on your previous relationships and collect all the moments where it was filled with love and romance, which is beautiful, right? And I did that. And I had a very visceral response to the memories of all the past relationships, which I was not expecting. And my body was like, yeah. And
not so much there.
yeah, and I was like, PTSD loop again. So,
Yeah.
and then it's been that, okay, I'm looping. I'm really frustrated. I know this is a process. It's going to be 6 days like, I know the process in and out. I'm like, it's just a trauma. It's just a loop. It's just a trauma response. That's all it is. I'm sitting with it, crying, I'm screaming, I'm punching the air, I'm kicking plants, which sounds terrible, but I'm just venting and journaling and processing and everything. And I'm like, in 6 days, it will be fine. So it's
I think
I think it is
I think
process.
I think that we all have to realize and stay aware that one day you're going to be like really cool, and the next day you might have overdone yourself, and you're going to go down like an avalanche. And that's okay. It's a normal thing, but we can
Yeah.
that and then really go everywhere with it, So I think
Yeah.
that yeah.
And anything can trigger it. I have
Absolutely.
no
What
idea.
else?
That's
You got
half the
certain
fun. It's
goals,
like, what am I going to be today?
yeah, you found questions that went somewhere, and yeah, you got a very exciting life. Sorry, but you do.
I do. It's
Yeah.
an
So
intense life.
we need to kind of do something about being okay with that.
Yeah.
How cool would it be, once again, I'll say, how cool would it be to learn to just give consent,
Yeah.
and move on
And
to,
just like
I don't know.
be okay with
Yeah,
your
okay.
emotions.
Yeah, you remember Michael Singer from the book The Untethered Soul? What do you say? If you think you're
Yeah.
okay, I mean, the moment you say that I can handle it, or the moment you say I'm okay with it, then things should become okay with it. If you don't,
Yeah.
there goes the mountain. But I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's okay. So with this topic, it's a natural phenomenon. It's a powerful. It's like it's powerful. It's we can get overwhelmed,
Mm.
and yeah, with it can be unpredictable.
Mm.
Evokes feelings of unease, fear within us.
Mm.
What else? Kind of keywords coming up. We shut down. We don't become vulnerable. We ignore this. We just go catastrophizing.
Yeah.
It's a point is it's not negative and it's not positive. It's all kind of intertwined somewhere. You can't say it's
Yeah.
negative even though it's not abnormal. It's okay. It's a fact. It happens.
Yeah.
It's a natural phenomenon. It's an awe of things. What else other
Yeah.
words can I use there? We need to know how to navigate through distortions and not take things personal. You know, it's complex. Yeah, we are all complex. We're complex human beings.
Mm.
So winding this up, so I'm going to sort of wind this up. Mental distortion, anxiety, aberration to natural phenomena is a natural
Mm.
part of our perception and learning process. It
Mm.
is through the distortions, anxiety that, of course, sorry, it is that anxiety follows the distortion. I meant to say that a bit earlier. The anxiety follows the distortion once the distortion happens, unless we know how to stay calm with it and can expand. I'm knowing this now can expand our understanding of ourselves and every time, yeah, we can actually use that. We can learn that how we think, how we react to things, and then we can actually develop a deeper connection with ourselves and the natural world. And so why not just kind of embrace that, this unique experience of human life. And all it is just we have an experience. Well, it's how they say human souls, I'm just human
Mm.
having a human experience on this planet. That's what my soul's here to do. And yeah, the wonder of it, the nature of it, and Mars, let's go with the heart and be more with the heart when things kind of happen. Um, yeah, so that's what I wanted to share of today's topic on. Well, sometimes I have a few, and I thought, yeah, okay. So I saw, as I said to the chap I was with today, I saw full on what how it can actually affect us, how we can get so anxious, how we can so kind of we can actually lose our attention, which is kind of dangerous for driving, dangerous for anything really. And because he was just like, he was too detailed, he's too controlled.
Mm.
I I definitely said, dude, go and get some, go and do some meditation, do something, like stay
Mm.
calm, you create the neuroplasticity towards a calmer life. Yeah. Well, that's I think that's a little coaching here.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, cool. So now we're moving on to cool. Let's share a little bit. Let's just, if you want to share a little bit more, I'm happy to hear.
Oh.
Something that you might need to, get off your back, whatever it is, whatever is disturbing you right now. So we got space for you.
Uh, I definitely, I feel like the thing that disturbs me the most is realizing how much conditioning I'm having to undo.
Mhm.
And the more I learn, the more I realize, the less I actually know. Um, and I don't really even know if there is any right way of being on this journey. Um, and so far from the best way I can kind of describe my life experience, I've had very different life experiences to the average person, especially after 3 near-death experiences. I view my life as kind of like a timeline, like I just spontaneously came into existence. Um, and, I've been removed from said timeline 3 times. And you get a real, I suppose, I don't want to say distorted sense of time, but you get a very different viewpoint of life than most people don't really have. Um, so in terms of like processing emotions, I generally take the viewpoint that I'm a soul rather than an ego. And I do everything I can to kind of come from the place of soul and look at things through the eyes of no judgment and unconditional love, which is incredibly difficult. But I do it. And I'm awareness of awareness, and I'm aware that I'm aware of this. And that's the best description of I can give of where I'm actually at. Um, and I suppose the thing I kind of work on is interpreting what data source is presenting itself to me. So sometimes that's physical sensations, sometimes that's feelings, sometimes that's thoughts, sometimes it's just energy, like just sense or see energy.
Mhm.
And then also, um, figuring out where I assign it, and what its appropriate place is, if that kind of makes sense. So in terms of figuring out what its purpose is, and in terms of felt state is the big territory that I've kind of moved into again. That is again, I think something that a lot of people are just not that familiar with, given how dysfunctional our society is in general. It is really about being embodied, and it's how embodied can you actually be, and it's for me, it's coming down to a choice of, you can choose to suffer, or you can choose to see that and try to make peace with it, and to try to find some peace and joy in the process of life. And particularly when I did ayahuasca, or my Australian version of that, I felt what you were talking about in terms of the absolute, like the awe, the overwhelming awe, where you lose words for things. Like I've had multiple experiences, and I was talking to a really great guy years ago when I was meditating at the Buddhist temple Bodhinyana in Serpentine back in Western Australia for Christmas. I stayed there for 4 days over New Year's, which was lovely, and had a great conversation with this random dude who was on his pilgrimage. We were only allowed to talk for an hour every day, and he was going on about letting go of every single bit of conditioning that he had ever encountered in his reality. And that included Buddhism as well, because it was still born of a set of rules and of conditioning. And we had a very deep discussion about how, locking yourself away in a temple with the monks could also be potentially viewed as bypass, because you're not in society interacting with humans in everyday experiences of life to the full extent, to the richness and the expansion that you can get, and how it could potentially be an avoidant behavior, which is not a very shared opinion, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be, but it's still a valid viewpoint. And it really, prompted me to figure out and dive deeper into how can I still be a part of society, but let go of the conditioning that it has placed upon me, and create my own, environment and my own ways of viewing the world, and navigate it from the place of absolute true authenticity, if that makes sense. So that's the journey I'm kind of on now. Much harder than I wish I hadn't picked it. I was like, why the fuck did I pick this? Like, no, but I'm on it.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. And then he was talking about living from the rainforest of unconditional love, which is being able to hold all viewpoints simultaneously and acknowledging that they are all valid and they all serve a purpose, and that they are, there are people living in the desert of conditioning, and then there's the rainforest of unconditional love. And I was like, I've experienced that, because when I did ayahuasca, one of the last things I saw in my 6-hour long trip was the sheer magnificence of the universe, and it left me with the most indescribable feeling of awe, of beyond a magnitude of anything I've ever experienced. And what I saw was just so beautiful that my mind checked out, because it was like, I don't have words for this. This is a complete, whatever phenomena it was natural, and was the most just peaceful, blissful, harmonious, perfectly orchestrated, magnificent thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And then I had that exact same feeling when I went back last Christmas and had a reconciliation with my dad in the shed. And he held space for me emotionally for the very first time in my life and validated my whole life experience and took ownership in that moment and stepped up and was actually my dad. And I felt the exact same phenomena of just indescribable awe and felt state that came from two very different things. So, and then there's just been other experiences since then that are just, and they're happening more and more in everyday life, where I'm just sitting there like, wow, like what? Like I words fail. So there is a choice point, I guess you could say, where that, whatever you want to call it, the rainforest of unconditional love is accessible to people. And it's literally just one choice away. But sometimes it's a very in terms of, if you're stuck in egoic self, it's a very difficult choice to make, because there's so much fear in choosing something different and choosing something that is unknown. And there is so much fear around the ability or the willingness to accept that something can work out, or something may work out, or that something is actually amazing. So, in case in point with your friend who could have taken the opportunity to choose to relax in their driving, and just know that by them relaxing and them showing up and doing the work, they will get their license. They chose to go the other route, which they still accomplished their goal either way. So they still got what they wanted eventually. But it was like one pathway was easier and one pathway wasn't. So I don't know.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for that. There's also something that, another word, antinatalism. Have you heard of that word before?
No, what's that?
Well, that means some people, it's a theory, or it's an idea, ideology, saying that the world is designed to just make people suffer, right? It's all suffering everywhere, right? And let's stop having babies. Let's stop procreating. Let's just stop the human beings, like stop them, because everyone's just suffering,
Yeah.
I don't want to live in it. No, I don't want to say that. It means like,
I felt like that this afternoon.
I don't have kids anymore. No, I don't. I don't want them to suffer. Like,
yeah.
Why should I suffer? Why should I be part of this creation, this big machine? And all they do is just put into the meat grinder, and so much to eat and all this sort of stuff, and always chasing something. We can't get to utopia, utopic world, but I understand this kind of thinking, but I'm kind of the opposite. I like to think that there is that, but there is utopia. We just need to tap in, like you said. And yes, my coachee today, he has an option, but he needs to, why don't you meditate? Why don't you calm the world down? What's going on?
Needs to execute his choice function.
Yeah, it's right. I said, come to the men's group, right? Come to the men's group. We meet some wonderful people.
Yeah.
We all got issues. We all got this thing called one day up and one day down. We can be yo-yos. It's okay. But we don't have to think like the whole world's suffering all the time.
No.
So that's it there. Yes. I think we're almost end of the podcast today, but we do have a couple more things, a few more treats here. So let's do a round of breathing so we can get grounded.
Yep.
And that'd be cool. And then we'll do the meditation, which is coming up.
Yeah,
Oh,
breathing is something I've got to remind myself to do.
yeah, that's it there.
Yeah.
We need to get to do some breathing. I think we'll just whatever we can do a little fire breath or some nostril breathing. That'll kind of center us, just build some circulation and get the blood flowing through the mind and can just get us there. So I got so that's that. Why don't we um just do the box breath, right? We'll do about, I think, 4 counts of long breathing. I like the method 7-4-8, in through the nose for, and really be there, like be thinking about the tip of your nose and feeling the temperature rise and mindfulness of everything. And also, when you breathe in, expand your stomach to go out. So we can do that, and there's a hold for 4 seconds. So it's 7-4-8, and exhale very, very slow. And I find this really helps, conditioning. And every time we feel like anxious, we can go into this, 7-4-7-4-8 method, and it really, really helps us. So let's just, wherever you are, just relax, and let's just, you may wish to close your eyes or keep them open for a little bit, or just be mindful of the way you're breathing. And here we go. Just breathe into the nose for 7. Hold the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth for 8. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again for 7 with the nose, through the nose. Feeling the temperature as you inhale. Hold for 4. Exhale for 8. Once again, remind you that when you inhale, focus on your diaphragm and be focused on the expansion of it. So in we go for 7, and exhale and blow up the stomach like a balloon. And when you stop at the top, give it just like 2 more squeezes of, hold the top and out. Right. One more. Starting to feel it now. Hold the top. Exhale for 8. Let it all out. Letting everything out today. Hold at the bottom. Just hold space here for a bit, and just recognize, sensitize to how do you feel now. And the next little method we're going to use is called a fire breath. And it's like inhaling through the nose and exhaling very quickly, and I'll demonstrate 1 or 2. It's continuous for like a minute or 2. If you feel it's a bit too much, just pause wherever you need to pause, and in through the nose, in through the out through the mouth. I think a minute's good here. Good. That is good. Feel that. All right. Now we're going to balance our states, and we're going to use the nostril breathing because it's designed to allow balance of the mind, balance of the body. And you might want to put your finger like that. So I've got my right like index finger or pointing finger, on your nostril, I can do it that way. Cover your nostril, and you inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose.
Boogers.
Swap your,
Sorry, I said let lots of boogers come out.
you can go like that. You can swap, or you can go the other end. It doesn't matter how you. Then you drop the other one. So you may make this as easy. It's all right. It's winter. So in with that one, then we're up to the left one. And you can go like this. It works the same. Some people, some instructors do it that way. They go like that. It's just it's easy to inhale. Now we're into the left one. Inhale through the left nostril. Nice inhale. Hold the top. And exhale the same nostril. Swap. Inhale.
My nose is really blocked.
Well, just go slow, be gentle. Hold the top. And exhale. Swap. Inhale gently.
Sorry, it sounds so funny.
Exhale from the nose. I think we'll do one more round. One more round. That'll do for that one. Okay, that'll do that. That's it. That's it there. There's one breath I haven't done for a long time. It's called the death breath.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and I like to do 2 shots of that, and that's like really like inhaling, right, to the top, holding for 4 again, and exhaling and releasing all the air that you have, and then releasing some more when you think you don't got no more, and then hold for a little bit, and we'll repeat the process 3 times. Right? So it has effects, and it does have. It is a challenge, but you can only do it once, twice if you haven't meditated or haven't breathed before, and that's okay. So the idea is you can actually make yourself, form a mudra. Yeah, there's mudra. Yeah, like that. And hold, put whatever you are, just maybe hold the mudra position on your thighs, and it's like in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And the idea is to let all the air out and hold at the bottom. Exhale everything. And hold your breath. Good. Inhale through the nose. Just a gentle one going up. Hold the top a little bit, and we do it again. Exhale everything. The moment you got nothing left, you exhale some more, and then you hold at the bottom like it's starvation of breath. I think that'll do on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that does have some sort of effect on us when we do that. It's all designed to calm down the nervous system. Especially, the whole idea is to engage the vagus nerve, which is part of the the sympathetic nervous system. Might have might have had a stressful, again, distorted day, and topic being distortion, cause a lot of unnecessary anxiety, lots of looping, mind looping, whatnot, and you holding stresses, like, you hold stress, you can't sleep. So this kind of, even that, I felt just doing that made me feel really good. It really calmed me down. So, and I think we're now ready to go into a meditation. So, yeah, so just take one gentle breath in, soft breath, because we've been breathing already, in through the nose. Hold a little at the top. Exhale through the mouth. One more, in through the nose. A little bit, exhale. I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't, and just focus on your breathing. Just a gentle, natural breath. And allow yourself to settle into this beautiful, comfortable space. Your choice whether others sitting down or laying down, any position you're comfortable with. And again, go into your body, feeling your body. Give it instruction to relax. And with each breath that you take, it's your anchor. And as you begin this meditation, let your mind open up to the topic of mental distortion, anxiety, and aberration in relation to a natural phenomena. Imagine yourself standing in the midst of breathtaking natural landscape, surrounded by towering mountains and lush green forests. Notice how the grandeur of the nature can sometimes distort our perception of our own worries and anxieties. And as you observe the natural phenomena around you, you just let go of any perceived notions of judgments. Let go of the judgments. And allow yourself to fully immerse yourself in the moment. Allow yourself to fully immerse there. And experiencing the beauty and the harmony of nature. Just like the natural world, our minds are capable of understanding. Yeah, just like the natural world. Our minds are capable of understanding changes and transformation. Sometimes anxiety and mental distortions can cloud our perception, making it very difficult to see in clarity, think through clarity. And take a moment to acknowledge any mental distortion or anxieties that may be present within you. Recognize that these are natural responses to the challenges and uncertainties of this life. And just like a storm passes through the sky, now that your mental distortions and anxieties are temporary, they're like passing clouds in the vast sky of your mind. Allow yourself to observe the ebbs and flow of your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up into them. Just as waves rise and fall in the ocean, your thoughts and emotions come and go. And shift your focus to your breath now, feeling the rhythm of your inhales and exhales with each breath. Imagine yourself letting go of any mental distortions and anxieties and releasing them into the air. And as you continue to breathe gently, imagine a gentle breeze blowing away and mental distortions, leaving behind a sense of clarity and peace. Notice how nature operates in perfect harmony, each element playing its part. And just like a natural phenomena, as they work together, our thoughts and emotions are interconnected. One affects the other. And embrace the concept of impermanence. Nothing that, knowing that just as the seasons change, nothing stays the same. Things change. So do all thoughts and emotions. Allow yourself to flow with the natural rhythm of life. And now visualize yourself walking through a dense forest, feeling the soft earth beneath your feet. Each step you take represents a step towards the great understanding and acceptance of your mind, of your mental distortions and anxieties. Like a river carving its path through the rocks, allow yourself to navigate through the challenges and obstacles of your mind. Enhance the process of self-discovery and growth. And just as the sun rises each morning, illuminating the world with its warm light, let your awareness shine a light on your mental distortions and anxieties and bring them into the light of awareness, allowing them to lose their power, Imagine yourself sitting by a calm lake, reflecting the beauty of the surrounding nature. And as you reflect on the mental distortions and anxieties, observe them from a place of curiosity and compassion. Like a seed planted in a fertile soil, your mental distortions and anxieties can serve as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Embrace them as opportunity of self-reflection and learning. And notice the vastness of the universe, the infinite possibilities that exist beyond our limited perception or imagination. Allow yourself to expand your awareness, transcending the limitations of mental distortions and anxieties. Imagine yourself floating on a gentle river, surrounding to its current. Similarly, surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that everything happens for a reason. Even our mental distortions and anxieties have a reason, a season. Just as a butterfly emerges from the cocoon, embrace the process of transformation and growth. Allow yourself to break free from the constraints of the mental distortion and anxieties, spreading your wings and embracing a new perspective. And picture yourself standing on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a vast landscape. And from this vantage point, observe your mental distortions and anxieties from a place of detachment and objectivity. Like the intricate patterns found in nature, our mental distortions and anxieties are unique to each individual. Embrace your own journey and experiences, knowing that they contribute to the beauty of who you really are, your authentic self. And as you continue to breathe deeply and feel a sense of grounding and stability, and just as the earth provides a solid foundation for life, and let your strengths and resilience anchor you amongst the mental distortion and anxiety. Imagine yourself soaring like above the clouds, gaining a new perspective on your mental distortions and anxieties. And from this elevated viewpoint, they appear smaller and less significant. And just as nature finds its balance and harmony, seek to find balance within yourself. Nurture your mental well-being by practicing self-care, self-compassion, and mindfulness and meditation. As we come near to the end of the meditation, take a moment to express gratitude for the lessons you've learned from your mental distortion anxieties that have shaped you. And finally, just as yes. And as we bring this meditation to a closer point, take a moment to reflect on the metaphor of going through the eyes of the needle. Just that it requires focus, patience, precision to thread a needle. And navigating through the mental distortions and anxieties requires similar qualities. Recognizing the process of unveiling the understanding our mental distortions and anxiety is not always easy. It may take time and effort to untangle the threads of our thoughts and emotions and embrace the journey of self-discovery in exploration. Just as the needle pieces through the fabric, allow yourself to dwell deep into the inner world, uncovering the root causes of your mental distortion and anxieties. And remember that you're not alone in this process. There is plenty of support, loved ones, plenty of people to help, plenty of groups, support groups who provide guidance and understanding along the way. And trust in your own resilience and capacity for growth. And just like the needle creates intricate patterns in the fabric, you have the power to transform your mental distortions and anxieties into the wisdom of strength. And as you slowly open your eyes and return to the present moment, carry the insights, the lessons from this meditation with you. Remember that the natural phenomena of mental distortions, anxiety, and aberrations are part of the human experience, But they do not define who you really are, the authentic self. And that, my friends, we conclude with our meditation. And I hope that you've enjoyed it and that brings you peace. And yeah. So any closing comments before we go, Cass?
I feel very grounded. I definitely needed to slow down and meditate. I was trying to do that in my day to day and procrastinating about it a little bit for whatever reason. I don't know why, because I feel great now. But yeah, it really is a reminder to slow down and ground.
Beautiful.
And the more embodied you are, the better it gets. So And ironically, the more control you have. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. So I think we covered week 1 and 2. We learned through our exercises to thank you for that. And slowing down the nervous system by breathing, by understanding the theme of the topic, distortions, aberrations, and how not to take things personally. It's nice to get that kind of awareness. And we also went into some of the symptoms of reoccurring thoughts and looping patterns or looping thoughts that keep coming the same way. We also went, we also looked in how our nervous system can overreact over, story of my coachee today, and how important it is for him to undertake, more gentle lessons of compassion in his life, even though he went bad on himself and, he felt like he was incompetent, so that he did really well. Yeah, and some of the triggers that they came up and that activate our nervous system, we kind of briefed on that, and yeah, I think yes, I'm happy with the day, well, week 1 and 2 of the session. It's an eight week session, so we should be continuing. And the next one we look at relaxation techniques next session. So we should do that again, and with the same format. And yeah, it'd be great to have you back on.
It'd be interesting if he can find another way to motivate himself to get good results. Because it seems it's a mindset shift just from an outsider perspective in terms of, and also being a perfectionist myself, having to really have that brain checked in a hard way.
Yeah.
If it got 97% in the end and got it done, yes, it's a choice, but obviously it's serving a purpose. So his anxiety is pushing him to do better and get it right, but he can also choose other ways to motivate himself to do better and get it right as well. So it's at the end of the day, it comes down to behavioral conditioning. The more you know, the better the change you can make. It's really just a question of asking yourself, what don't I know, and what can this tell me, and then what are my other options, or is there an option that might be better for me that will get me the result that I want? But
yeah,
everything is ultimately there for our benefit, and we're always acting in our own self-interest, even if it looks self-destructive. So it's
yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that. I think we just gave consent, learn to relax, not take things so personal, and yes, nothing's perfect, or everything's impermanent. Nothing can be perfect. So just getting that kind of result, congrats. And he totally took it the other way, and he did not want to be around people. He just wanted to be by himself, and fair enough. But I think there's lesson to be learned in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best thing is that nothing is permanent, because right now, knowing that those intense feelings that I had before when we first started this session have passed and they are impermanent makes me very happy. So
I love to hear that. Hey,
yeah.
we are going to go with the next one. It's going to be seriously looking at, yeah, beautiful. Relaxing techniques. What can we do? So everyone's looking for techniques or strategies, coping spaces or coping ideas. And the next one will really have a big chat on that. So, hey, thank you for joining me. This has been a lot of fun, and
Yeah,
I got a lot out of it.
you.
Yeah, cool.
I hope it was helpful. Someone got something
Someone's
out
gonna.
of it.
That's it. That's it. Beautiful.
Cool.
Okay. Well, have a good night's sleep, and
Bye.
okay. Bye. Bye, guys.